most disturbing horror stories aren't about monsters. They're about decisions people willingly make. In 1994, the horror anthology Cosmic Slop aired a segment that most people either forgot or never fully processed. That segment was Space Traders. And unlike most sci-fi horror, this story doesn't begin with Earth collapsing. It begins with temptation. The aliens arrive without warning and without hostility. To prove their power, they do something symbolic. They turn the Statue of Liberty into solid gold. Not to save Earth, not to stop a disaster, but to show humanity what they're capable of offering. Wealth, technology, advancement, then comes the price. The aliens don't ask for land. They don't ask for resources. They ask for every black person on Earth. No justification, no moral reasoning, just a transaction. At first, society reacts the way it's supposed to. Politicians say it's unthinkable. White citizens insist they'd never agree. Moral outrage fills the air. But outrage fades quickly when profit enters the conversation. The discussions begin. People stop saying never and start saying what if. What if this benefits everyone? What if refusing is irresponsible? What if this is humanity's next step? Genocide is slowly reframed as progress. And by the end of the story, despite all the moral posturing, humanity votes yes. The trade happens. This is where Space Traders hits differently for black viewers. Some people didn't need to finish the movie to know how it would end. Because the pattern is familiar, promises are made first, morality is emphasized publicly, and betrayal happens quietly. So when a black viewer says, "Oh, we're going back," they're not guessing, they're remembering history. One reaction captured the truth perfectly. A black woman admitted she hadn't even watched the entire movie yet. Someone responded, "They're using them like a cookbook." That line cuts deep, because in Space Traders, black people aren't hated. They're extracted for value, like labor, like fuel, like ingredients. That's what makes it scarier than hatred. What some dismiss as black superstition is actually cultural memory. An understanding that when power is offered, someone always pays, and it's rarely the ones voting. Space Traders doesn't rely on shock. It relies on recognition. The fear comes from knowing exactly how this ends. That's why people still say Jordan Peele should remake Space Traders. Not to modernize the plot, but to show how little would need to change. Today, the vote wouldn't be in a courtroom. It would be online. Space Traders isn't about aliens invading Earth. It's about how quickly morality collapses once profit enters the room. The most disturbing part isn't the aliens. It's that humanity didn't hesitate for long. And that's what's really out there.